Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. I love Mondays. There's so much expectation and so many great things that can happen during the week to come that I'm always excited to wake up Monday morning and get going. So I hope everybody's doing great, had a great weekend. Today, I'm going to start another three-part series. This is about making sure that your ideal client can find you. Are you making it easy for them to find you? Right? We want you to, when they think about you, they can find you no problem, or perhaps they're not in the middle of thinking about you, but you are showing up in their feed and with great content and things like that. But the first thing that needs to happen is you need to make sure that you have a cohesive, branded online presence, right? Your OLP is very important. And that consists of your branding, right? So if you're having haphazard content that you're posting that doesn't have any, logos or consistent branding or look and feel or vibe to it, you're not going to stand out. You're just going to be like extra information in the feed that people ignore. So very important is in creating your online presence is to start with branding. Branding in itself can be a very broad subject. People spend tons of money on it and a lot of time working on it. But I like to just make sure that the basics of branding, that all of our clients have that. And if they don't, then we go ahead and make sure that we get them branded before we do anything on their website, their email marketing, or their social media accounts. So, and that is what your online presence it consists of, right? So your social media accounts, any landing pages you have, any free offers that you're offering, freebie opt-ins, your website and your social media accounts, all across, however many you have. Hopefully you don't have too many. And so today, or in this series, I'm going to outline how to build a magnetic online presence. So how to craft and how to craft your message and brand your look and feel so your ideal clients are attracted to you. So the first part, right now, we're going to talk about branding. We just did that a little bit. Colors, logo, messaging, and vibe. If you don't have that, again, you can do the basics and keep it simple, but it's very important that no matter where you're posting or where you're showing up online, there is a consistent look. Super, super important. It's brand recognition, right? You want somebody to see your branding, your logo, your colors in the feed, and they go, oh yeah, that's so-and-so, right? You want them to stop for a second because they recognize you and they like what you talk about, and they have that connection in their mind when they see it. Oh yeah, she's going to talk, or he's going to talk about this. I'm going to see what they're talking about. So that's super important. And the other part that's important that we're going to talk about in the second video is your social media accounts, obviously, right? And which ones you should be on and how many of them you should be on. What I find is a lot of people want to be everywhere on all of them. And what typically ends up happening is none of them are done really well because you're spreading so thin, right? If you want to be on all 5 or 6 or 7 different platforms, it can get a little overwhelming, and pretty soon you're not doing like a super awesome job on 1 or 2 or maybe 3 at the most. So figuring out what platforms you want to spend your time and effort and energy into is really important. So that's great. So you can have consistency on those. And then in the third video, we're going to talk about email marketing, huge part of your online presence, and growing your audience. That is what we always need to be doing as business owners, right? Is growing our audience, people that want to hear from us, and eventually being able to share offers with them and let them know what you do and how they can work with you. So email marketing, super, super important. And a little side note to that is you own your email marketing list. You own those email addresses. You don't actually own your social media accounts or your social media groups. And so depending if rules change or platforms change or whatever, you want to make sure that those relationships that you're building online, you move them offline via email marketing, because you always have those until somebody unsubscribes, right? They've raised their hand and said, I would like to hear more from you. So that's a really great warm, hot market type of list to have and nurture and love and put a lot of energy into. So we'll talk about that. And then first of all, last but not least is your website, right? Because in most of your social media content, email marketing, we're always leading people back to our website. That's where they can find out how to work with you, more about you, more about your story, things like that. So again, branding across all of those areas, super important place to start. And I'll give some other tips on that throughout the week. On branding, on how to figure out which platforms you should be on, and then also how to incorporate email marketing, and then how to incorporate it all in with your website. A little something you might want to do that's kind of fun, I'll put in quotes, is to go and Google yourself. If you've never Googled yourself, you may be very surprised what it says about you. So, and what we want when someone Googles us, right, is to find like a really great LinkedIn profile, our social media, maybe some blogs we've written. Like, we want there to be information there so people can learn more about us. If you haven't been paying super big attention to that, you number one, they might not be able to find you at all. Or it might just be like, an old Facebook page or something, right? What we want is to project professionalism and people to learn more about us when they Google us, right? Just like we Google everything these days. So if you haven't done that before, give that a try, and let me know what you find in the comments below. I think you will be surprised, in a good way, or maybe in not such a great way, but either way, that will be valuable data to know how to move forward when building your online presence or changing it or upgrading it, or whatever position you find yourself in. So leave me a comment below on what you find when you Google yourself. Hope everybody has an amazing Monday and an amazing week ahead. Thanks so much. Bye.